Well, one thing too that I think of is that, the things in the world will will be even more almost dangerous because it'll have more of even like an occultic type thing. I mean, that has become more acceptable, and there's more. Years ago there'd never be any to open talk of witches or witchcraft or occultic type stuff. It went on, but it was more hidden, of course, and it wasn't. But now, you can there be movies, even kids' movies, that would have witches in them or warlocks and wizards and occultic type stuff, casting magic spells when God specifically forbids all these things. He says it's an abomination. The horoscope. People read their horoscopes. I guess I don't. Christians do too. I guess they hadn't read the Bible in the place where it says specifically astrologists and horoscope is wrong. It's turning to a different source besides God, and you're opening up a door to a spirit, and you don't realize it. When you are feeding your mind and reading those things, you're opening up a door. And it's a deadly door. And people don't realize it. It comes across as something simple and nothing wrong with it. Oh, big deal. What's that? It's just a horoscope. Well, it's got a supernatural power behind it, just like the wizards in Moses' day had a supernatural power to make their sticks turn into serpents also. The occult has a certain amount of power with it, actual supernatural power. And so when you're partaking, even not even realizing what you're doing, maybe innocent, newspapers carry the horoscope. Well, if you look at it and glance at it, don't think anything of it, well, whether you think anything of it or not, you're still opening the door. And so those things that God specifically has spoken against. But the point being that the flood that I'm talking about that's being released, it's through the music even, and movies, TV shows, all of these, they're putting in occultic influences. And children can even be affected by it if they're exposed to it. And it can enter their little minds and their little hearts and cause terrible trouble for them. But adults too also. And if people do watch so many of the movies nowadays will have occultic influences. And if people are not familiar with the cult, they don't even realize some of the symbolism and the things in the movies and in the music too. The world, as the years keep going on and those things are coming out more in the open and being accepted, then it's just going to increase more and more. It'll be, to where really you shouldn't even expose yourself to any of that, So it seems like it was about a couple of years ago or so. It's something I thought felt like the Lord was showing me, that even some of the YouTube videos, the music videos that they're doing, that they're turning people away from God, even though it may appear innocent and it may just seem like, oh, just a song, but the images in it and the spirit behind it is specifically sent out and goes out to turn people away from God and away from the way of God. And I think that's why there's so much more now in the last so many years, so much more now of a hardness towards God. I mean, that hardness towards God is increasing, and people are being influenced to have a hardness towards God. And it's just going to get worse, of course. But, I mean, you think of it, I just remembered even in Revelation where it said, the beast and his army, or his people, in other words, the beast and the people on that side, so to speak, will make war with the Lamb and with his people. So it's and then of course it finally gets up to the final battle of it all. But that's what's happening now, just at that hardness that's forming more and more. It's just going to get worse. And it says, I think it says even in the last day, there'll be haters of those that are good. We've just got to get stronger in the Lord. We've just got to get closer to Him, ask Him to fill us, to help us, to just live for Him, to be faithful to Him every day of our lives, because that is all that matters. This life is short. Life doesn't go on, it's going to be an end one day. The Lord will call us home. And so you just want to be faithful to Him. And that's what really matters.